Warning, this content is for entertainment and educational purposes only. What's up, everybody?
Hey, guys.
58 days till the Arnold.
Is it that short? Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I need to get myself in shape.
Wait, what did you say? How many days?
58?
Oh, wow.
58.
Yeah, it's going to come quick.
Yep.
Oh, boy.
I saw Nick Walker posted some updates. He's looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Happy Sunday. What's up, guys?
I was freaking out how I would look for the Arnold, but thanks to you, I'm no longer freaked out.
You know, Gonzo was freaking out because thought he was getting fat, and I always this is my bodybuilding coaching trick is I always save every check-in pic that people ever send me. And part of my check-in routine that I like to do is I really focus on the pics. I'll look at this week to last week. You can see small differences, but I always look from this week to the beginning of the phase and this week to like the absolute beginning first pick. And every once in a while when somebody starts freaking out and thinking they're going sideways, I'll send them like, all right, here's where we started. Here's where you're at now. And they're like, oh, yeah, it's all in my head.
And it was completely a sanity check. So definitely for those in the audience who, you know, like we always say, it's a game. It's a long game. It's such a long game. And it's so easy to get stuck in the minutiae of the moment, you know. It's crazy.
Well, I mean, a lot of times when you have feelings about something when it comes to bodybuilding, those feelings are almost always wrong.
Yeah.
It gets really bad on contest prep. I mean, dudes get, you know, they're loaded up on fucking trend. They're in calorie deficit.
They should always be loaded up on trend. Let's be real.
But even more so.
Always.
Oh, that's not medical advice, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Bodybuilding advice.
Bodybuilding advice. But yeah, people start freaking out, and that's why I'm guilty of it, man. That's why you need a level head in your corner.
Yeah.
Same.
Yet another reason that coach is invaluable. Absolutely.
Well, you know, it's one thing I suggest to some people too is because I've been there. I can say I'm the same like Paul. I've gotten too kind of in my own head sometimes, and you just need someone to be a level head, like you say, Gonzo. But I try to step back periodically and kind of look at the big picture of my timeline of my goals. And so, because we get so stuck on what's right in front of us, you know, 2 weeks out, 1 week out, 2 days out, you get really, really stuck, which is fine because you got to focus on the goal in front of you. But usually, like in the rebound phase, people get this feeling of, you know, like there's no goal. I kind of feel lost. I have no direction. And I just try to zoom out and try to anticipate what am I going to look like and where should I be in 4 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, and start kind of getting that in my mind. And that kind of just helps me kind of anticipate things as I put on a little water weight, as a little body fat goes on, as your size isn't as tight and neat as you kind of like. You have to realize like you're rewiring your head to just recognize like this is part of the goal. I'm trying to get bigger. Yeah. I'm not actually trying to get stage ready in an off season, you know? Yeah. So that helps me just having perspective of like big picture. Like sometimes you got to zoom out and look at the big timeline.
And even goals, you know, another thing that at least I've done in my head, and I'll consult with Paul, you know, and or, you know, my other friends in the off season is, okay, so what am I trying to grow or what am I trying to develop in this off season to prepare me to be ready when contest prep time comes? I know I've got, in my case, November is the target. So I know that I wanted the arms have to be brought up. You know, the arms, the back, the shoulders. So that gives me a target, right? That gives me already something that I can work towards, even in the off season, in that growth season, to very specifically, you know, address. So is my training focusing on those parts? Right. Are there other parts that are, you know, that like my legs grow without trying? You can ask Paul. So
yeah, they're huge.
Do I take off, you know, from the, you know, and you can start strategizing to your point, Dave, of then turning those strategic goals of, I want to be bigger here, there, and there into tactical goals. that
Yeah.
are like, every month or two you do that check-in and see how it goes.
I like this one. Paul J says, how much of contest prep coaching is part-time psychologist? I'd say it's full-time psychologist, part-time.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, like, look, I know what the fuck I'm doing. I preps. I did the math. I think it's 61 or 62 people last year. Posted that up the other day.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I should know how to prep myself, but I I know the technical aspects of it, but then I get in my own fucking head about I think I look worse than what I do, and yeah, so yeah, it's a lot of it is especially oh my god, peak week. I get so many guys that freak out on fucking peak week.
Yeah.
I heard Chris Aceto talk about it literally.
You think it's low estrogen?
I think it's
I mean, there's a lot, but I mean, there's
I have a theory.
I mean, it's probably low estrogen. Dopamine's all fucked up from tren and all the other shit that you're doing. You're in a caloric deficit, so you're in this flight or fight state already. Cortisol is probably through the roof.
Yeah.
I really, and that's one of the things I learned from that mentorship with AJ last year. I mean, he calls it rest and digest. It's like that last 10 days is like, I just want people to chill out.
Yeah.
We'll put a little food back in. We'll pull the cardio back. We'll I want them to get a good night's sleep. All these other maybe even completely drop the fat burners, shit like that.
Sure.
I mean, you can think about it. You got all this sympathetic nervous system drive from all the fat burning agents we use and the heavy androgen load. You're already, when you're in a caloric deficit alone, that's enough to fuck you up, right? You're not sleeping right. It's just a bunch of shit going on.
And you're also in a state that every little change, like if you have a little bit more carbs, a little bit less, will yield a visual change very quickly.
Yep.
And that will definitely mess with your head. Like when you wake up.
Well, you're already mental to begin with, and then that throw that on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think
stuff, Amy.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Well, how do you deal with like the mental aspect of your prep? Because your last prep, you felt like it seemed like you were doing great and everything was going pretty swimmingly.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that has to do with my coach. I mean, my last check-in, though, now that my weight is going up, and I was like, just checking in to make sure that he is okay with how much weight is going up. Mm-hmm. And he's, said yes, but I said, I have some PTSD from my last off season because that, for competitors too, that plays into it. Your previous off seasons and your previous preps are always kind of there in your mind in some way. And last off season was not productive. I put on too much unproductive fat and no muscle. And, it was a hard prep. I mean, there were a couple of weeks on prep when I was really, really digging and like super depleted in a way I've never had to do before. I mean, I was doing far more cardio, eating far less food. So I don't want to have to do that again. So I think I'm a little more, I want to be a little more conservative on this reverse because I don't want to get back to that place. Right. So expressing that to my coach though really helps, and he knows my history and just like really being open with him about that and trusting him at the same time, and that's it's different.
I wanted to get to this one. Subbie Fitness. Hey, Paul, quick question. Have you thought about ways coaches can share how they think beyond one-on-one without becoming generic? I'm not sure what you mean, man. I'm assuming he's talking about just the cookie cutter approach to things. I think just having a personal relationship with people. I mean, I try to remember, and I think this is where you get and it's not to offend anybody, but you get a lot of these really good high level coaches that are autist and they're not very good at the people part of it. And it goes back to the whole thing again, where we got to remember that, big portion of this is psychological. And I've heard some coaches say, I'm not a therapist and I'm not going to deal with that shit. Well, you're probably not going to be a good coach then. I mean, you look at it in what was it, Coach K that coached Duke for years on the Olympic team? What is it called? Coaching with care or whatever. I think it's coaching with compassion. He talks about, remembering that there's just remembering there's a human being on the other end of things.
Yeah.
he was kind of a jerk to his players, wasn't he? I don't remember him being very super nice.
Well, here's the thing with him. I've read it. I've been to his leadership seminars. I've read a bunch of his stuff. What his approach was is that and this is probably an overgeneralization, but he said there are three types of people really that are motivated by primarily three things. There's the guy that you need to kick in the ass. There's that guy that needs the authoritarian approach. There is the guy that needs a hug and reassurance, or gal, that says, hey, everything's going to be okay. Just hang in there. And then there's some people that you just give them the information and leave them the fuck alone. Yeah, the worst thing, they don't like a hug. They don't like a kick in the ass. Like for me, like if you get in my face about shit, I'm like, fuck you, motherfucker. Right? I don't deal with that.
Yeah, you'll dump their shopping cart over.
Yeah, I'm more the type of person. Just give me the information, and that's why I work well with Justin, because Justin's more of he's cerebral? A tactician. Yeah, he's cerebral, and that's why I work well with Justin, because I'm like, look, just I don't need a lot of psychology, but like sometimes I'll get in my own head, and he'll be just like, you look fine, and that's good enough for me. And I'm like, just give me the numbers and tell me what I need to do, and I'll execute.
Yeah. I think there's parts of the mental aspect you have to bring as a coach that make a whole lot of sense too. Like I can't always pick you up when you're down, but I can, and I can't make things easy when they're supposed to be hard. Sometimes things are supposed to be hard during this process. But one trick that I found, and I think everybody could probably benefit from, is finding out your client's why. Like as cheesy and corny as it sounds, but if I know what makes Gonzo tick, and why he wants to step on stage, and why he's justifying putting himself through all this to land hopefully on the other side with some sense of accomplishment. If I know that, then that's just a tool that I can use kind of against you, to a point. Like find a way to use it to steer you in the direction I want you to go. So reminding people of like why we're here, why we're miserable, why we're a little bit rough is kind of important.
Yeah, and that frame of reference for sure can shape the discussion. Same as people have different, communication styles. What works for one person doesn't work for everybody else.
Sure.
Maybe I'm stupid here, but I'm still not understanding Symbiote's question. He said, sorry, I didn't mean just cookie cutter. I meant ways to extend coaches' actual thinking to more people without losing nuance. You guys understand what he's saying?
So I'm thinking like there's the fine thread between one-on-one coaching and how you tailor it to that one person.
Yeah.
And here's the thought: in bodybuilding, it's a bit different of a sport because the coaching is one-on-one, right? Because ultimately every one competitor is their own team, if you will, or whatever on that stage, versus the approach that you would have if you're a coach of a team, where I have a relationship with each player, but I also have a relationship with the team as a whole. And those are two different communication styles and approaches. The whole locker room, hey, we're gonna do this, versus like, you player X, I need you to do Y. You see what I mean? Like there's certain
maybe.
Yeah. Well, I mean, think about like things like Weight Watchers. That's kind of the same thing. Like we all are doing this thing, and we come together once a week and we talk about how it's going for us, and we're all following this same plan. But this is, that's, I think with some maybe like lifestyle group coaching is like that. That they'll do like team meetings, but there's no like one-on-ones per se, but it's everybody kind of doing the same thing. Like that's definitely something that exists out in the world. I think, like you said, Gonzo, with competition prep, it would be a lot different. You can't really, all of us are ends of one,
Yeah. Everyone has their own, set of parameters that they're working through.
I wanted to transition here. Did you guys see this drama? It was all over social media about this Holmes protein powder that a lot of people were using.
Yeah.
Oh, is it the one that was like a baking? Was it cake?
Well, people were talking about how great it tastes, and they loved it, and they sent it off to the lab for testing, and it was advertised as 22 grams of protein, but the lab testing showed 3 grams of protein, and it was actually cake batter.
No wonder it was delicious.
That's why it tasted good.
Well, I think too, it was like 10% protein in the entire formula, 70% carbohydrate makeup.
It was all sugar.
Yeah.
I'd be eating it all the time too.
Yeah, and it had other things too, which is dangerous. Like it had lactose, it had things in it that were supposedly not supposed to be in it that people could be allergic to.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was cake batter. You remember? I don't know if you guys, Gonzo, you're old enough, but the rest of you probably. Well, I mean, you're not a dude, but back in the '90s and early 2000s, the weight gainer powders.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
Rich Piana had the best. Come on, let's get big.
They were
Asking
just
5,000 and stuff. Oh man,
they were
still
just
exist.
straight sugar.
Yeah.
That's what they were.
No, at my last show or one of my shows last year, I got in my swag bag, I got a sample of a mass gainer. It was a tub, like a big tub, like the size that a pre-workout would come in, 1 serving.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
Eat this.
Yeah.
Goodness.
I'm telling you,
This
Sarah
reminds
Lee
me-
is perfect for this weight gain.
It reminds me way too much of that Seinfeld episode with the fat-free yogurt. Do you
Yeah.
guys remember that?
Froyo. Yep.
We're like-
Everybody's Froyo.
They're like, look, I'm eating it. I'm not gaining any fat. And they're getting fat. It does have fat. Oh, wow.
I used to, oh my God, the lies that I believed back in the 90s, man, when I was young and naive. Like all these pro bodybuilders selling these weight gainer powders and these kits and stuff. And I bought all that stuff and I thought all those guys were natural.
I thought Mark McGuire wasn't on steroids when he was hitting all those home runs.
Just talk about other drama. Did you guys see the Masters O drama?
Oh, that
They-
they pulled the
They banned the promoter from the
Yeah.
IFBB. They never paid the athletes.
Oh,
All those guys flew over there, did that show, never got paid. And then the judging was all fucked up too, from what I understand. Yeah, the Russian Bear. I remember
Russian
that.
Bear, I
Russian Bear,
remember.
5,000.
I remember that.
What's worse, not to just to throw it in there, finding out that your Masteron was test prop or that your protein powder on prep was cake batter.
cake batter.
I can't imagine
I was
how would
almost
that
thinking cake
dissolve.
batter.
Like if you're just, I mean, like I mix protein powder with water. Like I can't imagine putting that in a shaker cup and trying to shake that is going to produce
Yeah.
anything close to a protein shake. It's going to be,
That's a
it's
good
not going
point.
to emulsify. Yeah, like I would know right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you would know, but would you want to change? Would you really want to change?
There it is.
There
Yeah.
it is.
5,000 calories per
Zero
Yeah.
fat.
Oh, geez.
Rock hard fast.
Yep.
I mean,
Wow.
Take
That can be
one-
interpreted many ways.
Uh,
oh, that'd be funny. They just put the gas station boner pill stuff in there, and you just, oh my gosh.
Yeah, Celtec gave Jay Cutler his physique.
mhm.
I remember that stuff.
Oh my gosh, and Muscle Tech, right? Muscle Tech was the other one back in the day. That was those were
Muscle
the two.
RX. There's a few of them. Muscle RX.
Well, and this is why I just go back to this. I
oh, Metrex.
food supplement powders are at the end of the day they're exactly that. They're food and there's really very little regulation on any of this shit, and you have to be extremely cautious when you use stuff like I've known Dante Trudell forever, and he pays me nothing for this, but I would only trust his protein powder, to be honest with you. I know he makes high quality stuff, and if you're going to use it, but I think the moral of the story is when in doubt, just eat real food.
I believe the food standard you're looking for is good manufacturing practices. I think it's a GMP on the label.
Yeah, but they're not required to do that. That's voluntary. And
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. If
they're
you're
actually,
going to get protein, get one that at least has that. And if Dante's has that, it's even better. I know it's a
and there's no guarantee that they're even following those. That's just they can just stamp it on there. It's not like the FDA is checking this shit.
Yeah, somebody else.
There's
That's
a
the thing
few.
about food. Most of the standards are set by the companies, and then they have other people who rate their companies. And it's always stronger than the FDA standards. Always.
Yeah, the
There's a
Masters
few,
event.
there's a few protein powders I trust out there, though. I mean, Dante makes a good one, but I think some of the bigger brands, the Raws, and
I
the
use
Farm
Amazon's,
Farms,
whatever.
they're pretty good to a point.
Yeah, I'm
So,
sure.
Don't feel like they're cake batter anyhow.
If they were, I'd be eating more of it.
Right.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I've been so poor, so broke that I have mixed like those Jif, the blueberry muffin mix, right? And I didn't have money for any ingredients, so I would buy like the 25-cent box of muffin mix and just mix it with water and eat it.
Yeah.
But I've
It
been that
works.
poor.
That tastes good to me. I don't like milk, so
I do protein powder occasionally, but I try to mostly stick with real food where I can. I mean, sometimes it's just impossible, especially on the bulk, to get all of it down.
I mean,
You
but it
might
is
have
fun to
to,
eat 3 pounds of meat a day.
for some people, not on a GLP-1, it isn't.
I'm blowing right through that sucker.
Well, I like to cook. I like to cook a lot with my protein powder. So like I might not do all my protein in a meal from the powder, but like I'll do a lot of egg whites and protein powder and just whip it, make a pancake out of it for breakfast or
Yeah.
put in
Do you
air
do a
fryer
casein and
before.
whey combo when you do your pancakes?
No, I only do isolate. I just want no lactose, no nothing but just protein.
Okay.
Yeah,
I always like
I
to
never
mix
mess
it.
with any of the caseins or
Yeah,
like whey concentrate once in a while because like
Oh, yeah,
it tastes a little bit better for like maybe a Ninja Creamy, but that's still only a couple grams of carbs. It's nothing crazy.
no, I'm mostly isolate, but if I cook, I usually mix those two together because they tend to have a little better taste.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys find it hard to hit what your protein targets are? Because I find it way too easy. So I find myself in the opposite situation where like if I create like a pancake to satisfy that sweet tooth or whatever, I'll actually remove any protein to try and make it as low cal as possible and as high volume as possible. Is that a situation you guys find yourselves into, that like not
No,
hitting the protein?
I struggle to get my protein in.
Wow.
I find most people do.
You guys are lucky because I can get my protein in no sweat, no sweat from just chicken and egg whites and stuff.
I mean, the way I look at it, protein's sort of a free pass. If you want to crank it up, you can crank it up if you want. It's not. It's very, very unlikely it's going to get turned into body fat unless you're eating a high fat protein source.
Setting goals, baby.
Yep.
I think sometimes the slower just the fact that it takes more time and more effort for the body to digest seems to be the struggle for people who can't hit protein because they just stay feeling full, and it's right there in their gut. Where something like, carbohydrates, you're doing cream of rice, you burn right through it real quick. And it sucks right into your muscle, I never seem to have an issue with it. That's never my problem.
Yeah, eat whatever you can digest is my big advice on this,
Yeah. Keep that good GI, motility and don't feel like you have a food baby every time you go to the gym.
Yeah. Well,
Nick,
go ahead.
Well, Nick was saying, I honestly quit giving a shit about food, the whole food versus whey debate. I don't see much of a difference for myself and my clients. Do what you enjoy will make you stick to yeah, I mean, this is why I give people macros. I don't give people a prescribed diet. I personally have a preference for real food over whey. I find that a lot of guys, especially as you get older, once you pass 40, often whey does not digest very well. For a lot of guys, and not for everybody, but I'd say it's like 50-50. I have tried every different type of whey powder there fucking is. It is just a recipe for me shitting my pants at this point.
Yeah.
So it's a weight loss.
But I do feel I feel people that stick more to isolates and are not mixing around with concentrates or other, nothing against the caseins, but some of like the closer you can get it just to the isolated protein, it usually digests better when you don't have a lactose or any little film of something else in the
only one I can handle right now is clear, the clear protein.
Clear. Yeah,
I like to drink pea protein.
The pea protein.
Yeah,
nice. You digest half of it.
Love to drink
it. You drink your pea protein? That sounds gross.
I drink pea protein every day.
Oh my god, that stuff is gross. Ugh.
It's funny though. Me and Jackie were just talking
chalky
last night about this, and like it's funny that we're talking about it now because we were just saying we were watching an old YouTube video of our first shows, and we were thinking like of what we were eating, and it's so true. You just naturally gravitate over years to what you eat more of what you digest better. Like I would love it. I love red meat, and I could have red meat every single day, but I tend to have it like 2 to 3 times a week because I can't do 3 meals of red meat a day. I just can't digest it as well as chicken or
I can't either.
Yeah.
But back in the day, even 5 years ago, we wouldn't think much to have 3 meals red meat, 3 meals chicken, and just rough through it.
You also have to worry with too much red meat too in your diet when you're on PEDs because of hemoglobin, hematocrit, and red blood cell count can get a little wacky when you're pounding all that iron.
I need
Yeah.
that. I would like that. That would be good.
Yeah.
Although here lately, I've since GLP-1s are around, I've had tons of guys come to me with blood work with low ferritin and low iron that are anemic. So it seems to be the GLP-1s are causing some sort of malabsorption with iron.
Yeah, my
noticed
HGB
HGB is like 14, which is 14.5 or so, like which is low end for normal, which is
Yeah, it's wild. I never saw bros be anemic and have low ferritin until this past year, and the only thing that's changed is everybody's running a fucking GLP-1 now.
I ferritin was like low end of normal too, but I pound like 2 pounds of red meat a day.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
Like
That's a
roast
lot.
yeah,
beef sandwiches and
maybe it's the chicken and rice guys that are.
but yeah, well, that's a run too, so I don't really have high HGB risks.
Have any of you noticed like a difference in dosage compared to how much deficient they are in iron? Like I've noticed
pay
that, you know,
attention to it.
yeah.
I'm basically max dose, so
Well, I was going to say, because you're kind of on the high end when you were running it, and when I was
Mm-hmm.
kind of on the low end, I'm just curious of. I'd have to look up my blood work. I know everyone's different, but
yeah, my
curious
HGB
if higher
only
the-
went up one time, and that was when I took Anadrol, and it went from like 14.8 to like 17.2. I've got new work to do on Monday, so
Well, I did my year-end analysis of all the work I did last year, like consult calls, coaching, preps, all that stuff. I looked back through it, and I did some computation with AI. I looked at over 1,000 blood panels last year.
wow.
That's insane.
Over 1,000. So that definitely gives you some insight on some stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Oh, yeah.
crazy. I mean, I
Cool thing.
I did 7 consult calls on Friday,
Wow.
and 5 of the 7 were blood work reviews.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've never seen this many people be anemic ever.
Yeah.
Dudes, especially guys on PEDs, which is
Yeah, I
crazy.
was gonna say I'm an iron skillet, lots of red meat guy.
Mhm.
Yeah, some friends. Yeah, my friends iron went down to 3 on a GLP-1. Yeah, I've seen more and more of it. So I've had to actually have guys. I've never had to have guys supplement iron, B12, folate before. That seems to get it.
Yeah.
Vitron C, it's usually what I'll have guys do, some folate and B12, and that tends to get it back. But damn, I just have never seen that before.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you have guys up there like vitamins when they go from like natural to TRT or well, years users, I guess, at a certain point?
What was that again?
You up like do you change your multivitamins or up minerals or anything when guys go to get onto gear or not really?
No, not usually. I definitely want to make sure they're getting plenty of EFAs in,
Right.
because of the lipid issues.
Mhm.
Other than that, I don't really. I mean, the stuff that you generally see skewed, you'll see high hemoglobin, hematocrit, and red blood cell
Mhm.
account. Nattokinase, I think, is kind of starting. For some people, might be. I don't know how much of an effect it has. My friend at Leviathan Nutrition, they have a product, Hemoflow, that seems to work really well at keeping all that in check.
Mhm.
The other things I see is suppressed HDL. There's only so much you can do with that, but
Yeah.
niacin, maybe some citrus bergamot, some
Hard running.
yeah, cardio. Fish oil will help with that. High creatinine, maybe some astragaloside for help with creatinine clearance.
Mhm.
But some of that I think is just muscle damage from lifting.
Yeah,
I think it's like what I found. There's normal, and then there's bodybuilding normal, like
Yeah.
HDL in
Yeah,
the 30s. That's pretty
right.
much.
Yeah, that's how you know someone's on something or has been on.
Yeah, HDL in the 30s, that's just bodybuilding normal. Creatinine of 1.3 is bodybuilding normal.
Yep.
AS, was it AST of, in the 60s?
Over
That's just,
50s, yeah, for sure.
yeah, that's bodybuilding normal.
Mhm.
The things that people, elevated BUN, a point or two above, that's just bodybuilding normal. Because of the additional nitrogen retention. So, I mean, these are just all things that you just see on every freaking blood panel that you look at. Occasionally, you'll get a guy that, I had this dude one time. I did a consult call that was running. What was he running? He was running 1,400 milligrams of Trent. and I was expecting his blood panels to be horrendous, and he was fucking perfect. I'm like, is this shit real?
It sounds like you talked to a superhero that I want to meet.
I'm like, how can
How
you run
much,
this? 200. He was doing tren only. He was running 200 milligrams a day, and he's like, I feel fine.
That's twice my dose.
Jeez.
What a hero.
Yeah.
He wanted to talk to God or punch him.
I'm starting to see some fucking fake testosterone out there. I had a guy I did a call with the other day that some of his blood panels, he had his testosterone levels. He was on a cycle and his testosterone levels were at 140. I'm like, yeah, that's
so
not
severely underdosed testosterone, basically, like,
or maybe none.
not even, right? Wow.
I would imagine even if you were doing 25 milligrams a week, you would have some elevation.
That's something.
Yeah, 25 probably would put you about 140 if you did 25 a week, because that's below your expected normal build.
Yeah.
Or just crush you.
Oh, the other thing you see that's normal is everybody's got suppressed LH and FSH. I mean, that's just normal.
Yeah.
I have been having guys check. Most people are deficient in DHEA and pregnenolone. That was something I picked up from Steve. I've been having guys supplement that.
Are you doing just the pills, or are you doing like HCG shots for certain guys?
Just the pills. I think it's good enough. The only thing I don't like about HCG is it seems to raise estrogen.
Yeah.
If you're prone to estradiol conversion, although if you're getting smashed from everybody, I'm starting to see the after effects of everybody running equipoise now. Since that's the only thing you can get, I've seen some crazy high hemoglobin and hematocrit. I'm talking about dudes with 20 hemoglobin and 60 plus hematocrits.
Oh wow.
On equipoise. It doesn't happen to everybody.
That is medically high. Yes.
Yeah, I think they call that you're due for an oil change.
You got oil for blood.
You're hematocritical.
Is it 10W30 or 10W40? I'm not sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
And remember I told you guys last week that my hemoglobin was high and I couldn't figure it out because it's never been high on Primobolan. I took a closer look at my Primobolan. I'm blind as a bat and I don't look at my shit with glasses. And I grabbed what I thought was Primobolan, and I've been taking equipoise for the last 10 weeks.
No.
There we go.
Oh no.
You see, this is why you should only have test and tren, because then worst case scenario, you're waking up more muscular than when you went to bed.
So
here I am giving people advice.
So let me ask you, do you see like extra vascularity because of DQ? You know how it does that?
Oh, it definitely makes you. I mean, when you got that much blood volume.
Right. So wow.
How are the pumps, dog? Right?
It was hilarious when I donated the blood. The girl looked at my blood. She's like, "This is the darkest blood I've ever seen."
I believe that.
Wow.
Jeez.
Remember, Paul, if you can't do math and you can't read, you can't do drugs, buddy.
It's called being blind. I just looked at the bottle. I'm like, I'll go upstairs and get my glasses later. I could put the really small print. I'm like, who fucking put the small ass print on here?
So are you switching now? But with eyeglasses, are you switching back to?
Yeah. I'm using Primo now.
Okay.
Are you gonna? Okay, so I guess that's the question. Are you gonna wait and up your test real quick and then go into Primo later so the EQ gets out of your system and you're blah blah blah?
And this is where we tell people don't front load. Don't front load when you change your AASs, please. Don't do that. It doesn't help.
All right, so the medical rule is to read it 3 times and then do it.
Is that like measure twice and cut once? Like that?
No,
my rule, don't read it at all.
Yeah, you're just like fill the needle, stick it into the skin, or else it gets the hose again.
I can't tell you how many people I've had think that their GLP-1 was their GH, and they take fucking 10 milligrams of retatrutide all in one shot.
Ooh.
That's not a problem for me.
I think my intestines would shut down if I did that. Oof.
Be locked up tight.
Yeah.
I started the GLP-1 back up after being off for a month and a half, 2 months, whatever it was.
Yeah. Well, you think that might be why your blood glucose has been wild, or what do you think?
Oh yeah, I'm sure it didn't help. I mean, I went in to see my endocrinologist, and my A1C went up a full point. It went from 5.7 up to 6.7.
Whoa.
Okay, so we're not terrible.
Yeah, but
Yeah, and I honestly, I was kind of like, oh, that ain't bad for the holidays. I ate a lot of fucking cookies.
Although the decreased eyesight does make me worry.
Yeah, I'm due for an eye exam. She wanted me to get an eye exam. Somebody needs a hug.
somebody needs a hug.
I
Yeah,
think they must be behind on the stream where we said, some clients just need a hug.
Oh,
we got a hug for you, buddy.
yeah.
I just happened for the hell of it, look at my blood panel while I was on. I transitioned into EQ and I went up 5% from 40.1 hematocrit to 45 in December.
Man, I don't know how yours stays low. It's just genetics, man, I guess.
He does his cardio.
Yeah.
I mean, that could
I'm
be
checking
part
him
of
at
it.
4 a.m. every
Very
day, make sure he's on his cardio. Yeah.
I'm pretty good about being hydrated too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
This is funny. Why are bodybuilders so ugly? Well, maybe it's a chicken and egg scenario here. Maybe we were ugly before and we decided that we needed to lift weights so we are less ugly.
Not everyone
I was
can
ugly when time was young.
Well, not everyone can do men's physique, guy. Okay.
Yeah.
I always laugh like
with the pretty boys.
I see dudes in the comment section like Paul's head got fucking huge from taking GH, and I'm like, bro, my fucking head. I used to ride dirt bikes when I was a kid, and my dad had to special order me motorcycle helmets because they didn't make triple XLs. That's what I wore in high school. So I was ugly long before.
Bring me an extra hat to wear. I want to put
Have you
one
seen
on.
regular people? Yeah.
Have you seen regular people? She's not wrong. Generally,
Yeah,
people are ugly. I don't know why there's so many. Oh, sorry.
Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. I don't know what
You
he's
see this
on.
face? I had to do something with it, man.
Right.
Gotta compensate with some pecs and glutes and lats.
I
Yeah.
mean, I look like a Ninja
Keep
Turtle.
him
and,
distracted
he
from
had
not
a-
seeing this, right? Like with the other stuff.
Look away from the. Well, I don't know. I have beautiful eyes.
You got nice eyes, Josh.
I did want to touch on the Olympia thing. That whole Masters Olympia thing. What a shit! As a Masters competitor, man, it makes me not even want to fucking compete.
Now, this was in Japan, correct?
Yes.
The Masters Olympia setup is fucking stupid, man. It really is. They do it every other year. They host it in like the majority of the Masters competitors are American. Let's just call a spade a spade. And they do them in some. It was in where was it? Poland before? Where I don't know. Czechoslovakia, I think it was.
Okay.
And then there was, and a trip to Japan would be cool as shit. But the promoter just didn't pay anybody anything, and they were kind of like being hush hush about it until a bunch of people started making noise. I mean, Phil Klahar. I mean, he was out there very vocal about it.
Well, he was a little salty from the get-go.
Well, yeah, he was salty about other things too. But I didn't hear other guys mention they didn't get paid. I'd be fucking salty if I didn't get fucking paid.
Yeah.
Especially after spending $20,000 to take a trip to Japan.
Yeah.
Why don't they make them put the prize money in escrow ahead of time?
They should. Well, I think it's a lot of these promoters are broke and they don't have any money until people actually show up and pay the entrance fee. That tells me they probably didn't make a bunch of money off the show. They probably lost money on the show. What they should do, what I think they should do, is just make it a part of the Olympia, the regular Olympia. You don't have to do it. You don't have to do it on the main stage. Do it at the expo on Thursday. Like guys, I mean, fuck, they have 900 men's physique competitors up there. What would it hurt to have 20 Masters guys get up there and do their thing? Right.
Yeah.
Limit the amount of people that qualify.
Why can't we do it in the States? I'm sure there's a million promoters that'd be thrilled to have the opportunity to host
let Gary Uda do it. Gary's great.
So is it Masters
in Tampa or Chicago or something like that? It'd be fine.
Plenty of venues, that's for sure.
I mean, I don't see why they couldn't squeeze it in on the regular Olympia. It wouldn't cost them anything extra. I wouldn't think, because it's the expo's already there. They already have the stage set up. Just pay some judges and let them run up there and just do the top 20 or top 15. It doesn't have to be a huge thing.
Yeah.
run everybody through and do it on Thursday, get it done, and then you have prejudging on Friday, and you know, and like most master shows and on the pro level, I wasn't sure how it worked until I went to a couple this year. They do finals and prejudging right next to each other. They do the prejudging, they have everybody come out and do their individuals, and then they do the finals right afterwards. That's an efficient way to do it. Really, I think that's the way they should probably do the regular shows.
Just kind of roll through the whole thing like a process.
I mean, local shows in this area, the NPC Mid-Atlantic, where I'm at, that's what they have been doing. They tried to go back to the old format this year, and everybody was pissed off. But they were doing that this year, where men go in the morning, women go in the afternoon, since they have makeup and a bunch of other stuff to do, so they don't have to get up at 2 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
Which makes sense. So, and then you just have prejudging and finals one after the other.
Yeah,
Maybe the guys need to do makeup too.
Some of them might. I might.
Hey, look, mascara.
Look at this face.
I'll take any help I can get.
Right? You know what I mean? Whatever it takes.
But when it comes to the health of the sport, I mean, we always circle back around like the consumer's enjoyment of some of these shows, whether it's the background, you know, going on stage at 1 a.m. trying to watch like the Olympia. That's ridiculous. Like there's certain things that you can't mess around with, and not paying people to show up just dwindles down the importance of the Masters Olympia. Like there's nothing worse you can do than not pay them, makes them not legitimate. You're not going to get the best competitors to show up if they don't know if they're going to get paid. I mean, it sounds like, even though Kai Green says this all the time, the biggest factor of him showing up and getting in shape is money. You know, so it's like, you got to pay.
I mean, hell, I don't know. A lot of us, I would fucking show up even if I wasn't getting paid, if it was convenient, if it was here in the U.S.
Sure. Yeah. That too.
Yeah, because if you went to Masters in Japan, you would just go ahead and enjoy Japan, because who gives a shit?
Yeah.
You know, if you're not going to be paid.
The whole situation was kind of fucked. I got a hard stop at 12:30, so 1:30. So let's grab some questions.
We got a bunch. We got a bunch of questions. Let's get back to the beginning. This one is from Lewis. Morning, Paul. Happy Sunday. I've been following Humalog plan on high days. Meal 135, 1 gram per 20 grams of carbs. So for meal 1, does this include the carbs in meal 1 and meal 2, or only meal 1? How should I look to adjust?
Meal 1. Just meal 1, and keep an eye on your blood sugar. This is not my advice. This is what I do. This is the big Paul bingo card, but as a diabetic, it is very important to constantly measure your glucose levels. There's no one size fits all insulin dose. I have learned this the hard way. 5 units might not make you go hypo today. 5 units might make you go hypo tomorrow. So the dosing is strongly influenced by what your glucose levels are and how your body responds to those things. So just be very careful, and don't take insulin. It'll kill you. That's what everybody says.
Yeah. Got to be careful. Got to know math.
Test, don't guess.
Oh yeah. It's oh my God. I can't tell you how many times I've had dudes take 40 units thinking it was 4. I'm like, just get a fucking pen, for Christ's sakes. Don't.
Yeah.
Yes. If it's idiot proof, please idiot proof.
Yes, that little bit is 4 units.
Yep. And wear glasses if you need them.
There is
Here I am critiquing, and I've been taking equipoise for 3 months and didn't know it.
But that's why it's called an IU, an international unit. That volume of measurement is the same whether you're in France, Afghanistan, or America. So that's the point. And remember, everyone messed up units when they brought bodybuilders started talking growth hormone. They messed up the whole discussion. So everything, in my opinion, if people say units, always refer back to IUs, international units. IU 100 pin is 100 units, plain and simple.
Yeah,
you're talking growth hormone, and if you're still following the IUs, all you're going to do is take a really small dosage of growth hormone if you mess it up.
We need to change the narrative on growth hormone. It should be dosed. It's funny because everybody talks about everybody else talks about every other peptide in milligrams and micrograms. Growth hormone is dosed in a clinical setting, not in units. It is dosed in milligrams. There are 3 different administrations of Serostim. It's 4 units, 4 milligrams, 5 milligrams, and 6 milligrams. Those are the 3 dosing dosings that it comes in for bros. That's 12, 15, and 18 units. That's all they make.
Yep.
And you take the whole thing at one time. That's what they do with growth hormone. So this whole thing of units with growth hormone, that was from the late 90s, early 2000s.
Just reconstitute the bottle and take the bottle.
It's just perpetuated.
Oh, then we messed up that part too, because now we're saying that a 10-unit bottle is standardized at 1 ml of water for reconstitution. So then you got to remember that facet if you want to measure it incorrectly but correctly, if I'm saying that right.
Well, it's just to make the math easy because bros can't do math.
Right,
But
yes,
yeah, I mean, really, if we were just talking like we do, like you don't say I'm taking 1 unit of BPC 157.
Yeah,
right.
You don't say I'm taking 2 units of TB 500, or I'm taking 3 units of GHK-Cu. You're taking micrograms of milk. Yeah, it drives me fucking nuts.
And some people can't do math or understand the concept. And I'm not trying to point fingers at people, but do not come to me and say I'm on 1 ml of testosterone.
Well, hang on. I do have a way to make that fun. All right, so you pull up some 300s and some 250s and some 400s, right? You put them on a little table and you spin them. You put on a blindfold. You pick one out and you inject yourself, and then it's like 1 ml. Don't know how much it is. Let's see what happens.
I mean, if you have issues understanding the differences between concentration and units of volume, that's a problem.
Hire a better coach.
Yeah,
and we'll help you with that stuff.
Then you
It is
pay attention.
It is hilarious talking to the old bodybuilders, and I remember it because I've been around long enough. But nobody pre-2005, nobody talked milligrams. Everybody was like, I took 1 Primabol and 1 Deca, one test, because everything came in amps. Nobody measured anything.
It's like,
well, that's the
Yeah,
thing.
but
You
you
guys had a lot
measure
more
either.
standardized pharma. Like you had.
Oh yeah, we had
amp
real
was
pharma
probably
gear back
250.
then.
Yeah, 1 amp was probably 250 of whatever testosterone, regardless.
Yeah, it was 250, and the testovirons, the Deca was 200. The Primobolins were 100s.
Yeah.
And there's always a 1/10 of an ml more if you just keep searching.
Yeah. All right, what do we got next?
Drives me nuts.
Next, we got, this is a 2-parter from Rob. 31 male, 182 centimeters. I don't understand that measurement.
We speak American here.
Yeah, and about 200 pounds. Been taking Retta for 2 weeks, keeping calories in check. But my test has been low for 2 years at 6. Again, he's not in this country.
it's a different scale, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Wondering, did all the tests, all was good except for test. And then he said at 6 months of TRT, but hematocrit started to creep up. Now going to start it again in a calorie deficit with Retta. Question is how to keep that blood from thickening.
Hydration first and foremost.
Yeah, hydrate before testing to make sure you're getting a solid test.
Hydration with salt. You're going to have to increase your cardio workout. Whatever you're doing right now, double it.
Yeah, fasted cardio.
And watch your blood pressure and your resting heart rate. Hematocrit, unless it's like hitting 60s, I wouldn't worry. But it shouldn't hit 60s if you're on TRT. So that's what I wonder about your dose.
Yeah, I mean, to me, we're talking about the American measurements. I don't get worried if hematocrits, unless it's over 55, or there's any, clotting factors, platelets are high, anything like that. But I think a slight elevation, that's just part of anabolism, right?
Yeah, you should have more blood in there.
Yeah.
More blood for the blood god.
Yeah,
Well, we can check off the low hanging fruit boxes. I'd be the first thing I'd advise is just let's double check how much water you're drinking a day. What does that cardio, schedule look like, and your background. Like, was it always high before to TRT? If you have any measurements of that as well.
Yeah, good advice.
All right, next one.
From Thomas Turner, who wants to know how we cook egg whites without having a pool of water on the plate or half the egg whites stuck to the pan.
Oh, this is my enemy right here. Yeah,
just drink them from the carton like a true man.
I've yet to figure this out. Like I tried the low and slow cooking. I usually just drain them, honestly. Like if I do like a scramble, I just kind of drain them, and that's about all you can do. Is there anything else, Josh?
I do cast iron skillet, put some oil, wait for the oil to get hot, throw it on it, fries quickly. Like what are you guys doing?
Well, I think the
I don't
issue is
use
for
oil.
most of us, we're not using oil when we're having egg whites. That defeats the purpose. I would just eat the yolks.
That's
I
right.
think the carton egg whites are far more susceptible to being watery.
Yes.
Oh,
I'm with you though on that, Gonzo. I've tried a lot of different
Just-
ways of doing it, but if I let them sit, like just for a minute, like I turn the heat off and just like I'll leave them in the pan, like just allow that water to evaporate rather than having to drain them.
Yes.
That works really well for me.
Yeah, I just after I do that, then if I put them in a bowl, then I'll carefully drain because I hate the watery eggs.
Yeah, microwave. Yeah, just
This
microwave.
guy said cook 1 cup in the microwave for 4 minutes. Have you guys ever had the eggs explode?
Yeah.
Yes.
I've been doing it that way since I was 7 years old.
I put them in the microwave one time, and I thought a hand grenade went off. I heard boom. I was like,
and they get stuck, and they are hard to get off too. You have to like
was that? And I opened up my microwave.
Stir, guys. Stop and stir. Yeah. Stop and stir.
I opened my microwave, and it looked like somebody got murdered in there.
Yeah.
Did you have a buddy that you were like, I'll just buy a new microwave? I don't need.
Just put ground turkey in with them. Let the turkey absorb the egg white juice.
There you go. All right. I like
That's brilliant, Lucas. See, clearly a bodybuilder right there.
I will try that for sure next time.
Throw some
Thank you, Lucas.
Stuffing on there.
99.1 turkey to be the sponge for the egg white liquid.
That shit is like sawdust. It'll soak that water up.
That is brilliant. I love it. All right.
Oh, man.
From Christian, should you use an AI at the same time as testosterone to reduce side effects?
If you need it.
If you need it.
Yeah.
Is your estrogen high? If yes, then maybe.
Call Paul for a blood work. Look, he'll let you know.
I'd say start off with the whole microdosing thing's got out of control lately, but I would say start off with just daily dosing of your testosterone. You're probably going to have lower estradiol conversion that way. Start off with that, and then if you do run into a problem, everybody aromatizes at a different rate. I personally feel the best when my estrogen is at the high end of the normal range, or maybe even a little over normal in the off season. But I would try daily or every other day dosing. See how that is. Get about 6-8 weeks into your testosterone cycle and see where your estradiol is at. Get a test for $50. Get an ultra sensitive test. It's $50.
Yeah.
See where you're at and then adjust accordingly. And you'll know, like I know when I'm low, I know when I'm high now. Low, you start feeling achy and apathetic. You get hot flashes at night. High, you get low is no sex drive, high is high sex drive, but your dick doesn't work. You get like those 80% squishy boners.
Nobody likes that.
Yeah, that's no fun.
Fun for anyone.
That's usually the first sign. Water retention, moodiness. Those are usually you'll know.
Do you get water retention on both high and low? Is that
no?
right?
Just high.
Just high.
Spottiness when bleeding.
It's the exact opposite on low. Usually you get really dry.
Okay.
All right. This one is another one it's a two-parter because ran out of space. From KW Brawley. Hey guys, I hope everyone is doing well. I have a question on the HGH study with daily, every other day, and 5 days on, 2 days off. If you're only doing 2 to 4 units a day, what would be best? And then he said, because I do the carb cycling plan, I thought of not taking my HGH the night before and on the high day. I asked Paul about his thoughts on a past live stream.
Yeah, I have done that before where I skip it before the high day because of the water retention. I have had issues with that. And I'm going to see if I can pull the Serostim study up, but they had the reported side effects from the dosing schedules. I'm going to make a video about it. I just haven't gotten around it. But this document is the Serostim prescribing information. It's a pretty comprehensive document. It's about 30, 40 pages long if you want to check it out. You can get it on their website. It's up there. But they had the different dosing schedules and they showed the side effects, reported side effects from the every other day. Hang on, let me see if I can make this bigger. I'm gonna pull this up, but I'm gonna share my screen here. but
well,
they
first dosing is before bed, like whatever dose you want to do. Yeah.
So they had every other day, daily. There is a 5, but they showed the this is not side effects. This is just what oh no, yeah, here is edema, peripheral fatigue. So I mean there was a pretty significant drop. It was like the edema dropped from 26% down to 11.3% reported on the every other day. So that's a pretty gynecomastia. It's crazy that 5.5% of the patients on the everyday. Now, keep in mind, this is 18 units,
right?
6 milligrams.
A considerable amount of growth hormone.
Yeah. The central nervous system, it didn't seem. The edema though was a pretty significant drop. So general edema generalized went from 5.9%. On the daily down to 1.2. So, I mean, that's a pretty significant drop. It was further on in the study where I'm not going to go into it right now, but where they talk about the effects of the Serostim. And it was really, it didn't decline that much from the every other day dosing to the daily dosing.
But that was their first line of defense for side effects, was to go from daily to every other day.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Well, he was saying just on his carb day, if he was having edema problems, and just skip the GH on before the high carb day. Yeah.
Long story short, you can see there was a significant reduction in edema with every other day dosing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But what they found too, I don't remember the exact number, but IGF-1 levels stay elevated for up to 72 hours after you take it.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's blood serum. No, I'm just
yeah. I'm trying to find the.
That's a good study, but yeah, if you're gonna take HGH, almost everybody takes it before bed because it helps them sleep. Some people have the opposite thing. If you're having problems on your high day, sure.
They tested the 5-on 2-off protocols, and that did not really yield any better. Didn't make much of a difference in side effects.
Yeah. Main question is, was there a dosage change? Like, were they taking 36 one night and 0 the next, or were they taking 18 one night and taking, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so I'm pulling the number up. They're talking about weight gain over a 12-week period of time. They're talking about lean tissue gain. For the full dose Serostim, I don't know how they're measuring the results, but they were saying that there was only a 0.2% difference between the every other day dosing and the full dosing every day.
Almost negligible, really.
Almost negligible, which is wild.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
So here it was. Half every other day dosing, they gained 3.99 kilograms over a 12-week period of time. It's a little bit more, 5.84. I don't know. That's pretty significant.
Yeah, I was gonna say
you should compare that to Chase's whatever he was doing, right? Put him on the little board. He'd be a fun N+1 to add.
But fat mass declined by 1.72%.
Makes sense.
Sorry, 1.72 kilograms on the daily dosing. And on the every other day dosing, it was 1.25.
So it's what, 3-4 pounds roughly.
Yeah, it's crazy. People drop that much fat with no changes.
Yes. For this guy's question too, I mean, we're going to expect some water retention because of the carbohydrates being higher on the high day as well, coupled with that. So, I mean, I guess the only thing I'd be curious about is like how much water retention. Are you getting it to the point where like your ankles are swelling, you're seeing indentations? Right. Like, is it really severe edema, or is it just aesthetic? If it's just aesthetic, it's off season and you're trying to put size on it, it's going to happen. Some
aesthetic water looks good too.
Yeah, but if you're noticing you're waking up and that whole day you have 2 or 3 days a week you're redlining your blood pressure, then I think you have then I think you have some justification for doing every other day or whatever, or just skipping your high day for sure.
Prop your feet up at night, 8 degrees.
I just want to show people this so they see the dosing protocols. People don't believe me when I tell them this shit. These are the dosing protocols. if you're greater than 121 pounds, the dosing protocol and the prescribing was 6 milligrams daily. That's 18 units for you bros.
That is nuts.
Mm-hmm. Daily.
But when guys freak out that they're going to get acromegaly and all this other shit from 4 units, I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up.
I mean, to be
I'm
fair,
gonna have to buy new shoes.
very different.
You have no idea what you're talking about.
Yep.
That would be. I mean, acromegaly sounds awesome. You get really tall and big.
Well, there's you know, I went way down this rabbit hole. There's the FDA collects long-term side effect data on this stuff, and it was approved for use, I think, in 1998, 1999. And the acromegaly was a potential side effect for long-term use, but it was really low. I mean, it was like 1% to 2%, something like that, actually reported any acromegaly. Now, keep in mind, these guys weren't hammering a gram of tests and Primobolan and IGF-1 and all the other shit people on top of it.
Well,
$8,000 a day. So I don't know how much it applies to our cohort, but the number one reported side effect to the FDA was insulin resistance. It did cause diabetes in a fair, you know, it was I don't remember the exact numbers. It was like 1 in 20.
Yeah, I was saying, if you're somebody who needs HGH medically, you've probably got several systems.
That are compromised. Yep.
Yeah, it was pretty, you know, that was the number one. And then there was no significant, and like everybody talking about your organs growing from GH, there was not one significant case of reported organomegaly. If I slaughtered that, but no, there was no over a 20-year period of time from 1998, I think, to 2022, I think it was. There was no reports of significant organ growth.
So the infamous GH gut is really more from feeding and nutrition rather than
I have theories on it. I think, and you notice you don't see it as much now as you did maybe 10 years ago. And I think a big part of that is because of guys paying attention to insulin resistance now. I think a lot of that was due to insulin resistance and force feeding, and what ended up happening, guys were basically covering up the insulin resistance caused with GH by just hammering a bunch of fucking insulin. And when the cells become insulin resistant, you know this, Josh, when it ends up happening, you end up storing a bunch of fucking visceral fat.
Yeah.
You know, so I think these guys just had their livers were probably super fatty. They probably just had a shit ton of visceral fat. They're probably gut inflammation. I mean, you look at a guy like you know, literally they named it after Dave Palumbo, Palumboism. I mean, he doesn't have that huge distended gut now. I've seen him in person. He's pretty trim.
Yeah, he's skinny now.
Yeah, he's super skinny now. I mean, he looks like a runner. So you know, that if it was true organ growth, it wouldn't reverse like that.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I definitely have seen some things grow. Like I got the GH horns on my forehead. My nose has gotten bigger. My hands have definitely gotten bigger.
Hands.
Yeah.
Feet? Do you find feet to grow too?
We're size 15s. Since I was 15
Paul
years old.
doesn't have much more room to grow, I don't think, on a human.
I still wear 15, you know. But it's the body parts that never stop growing. Like it was your nose, your hands, your feet, your ears.
Yeah.
Yeah, those never stop growing. So I think
great news for me.
I mean, my fucking dad, my dad doesn't use GH, and he's got a giant ass nose and big hands. And yeah.
That'd be awesome if your dad was just secretly hardcore.
Trust me, he's not using GH.
Well, Paul, you know, that's kind of one reason why I'm not big on Lantus use and like these basal insulins, because they tend to just mask that insulin sensitivity, the resistance that you're talking about. You're not aware of it, and then you burn out these receptors or whatnot, or you know, you become truly insulin resistant, but you don't notice it till you come off that Lantus. You know?
Yeah, and that's a thing I've been trying to beat into fucking people's heads, man. I hear guys all the time, they're running a bunch of GH, and then they're like using Lantus, thinking they're getting some performance enhancing effect. There is an argument to be made that it may be a prophylactic in preventing beta cell burnout, but if you're waking up with fasted glucose levels of 130, 140, you got a fucking problem going on.
Yeah.
You're type 2 diabetic at that point. And you know, if you're in the 110, 120 range, you're pre-diabetic, you have some serious insulin resistance going on that you need to address. And throwing Lantus at it is just hiding the problem. You're using more insulin to treat insulin resistance, and what is more insulin going to do to insulin resistance?
Stop running from the problem and start running.
I was just going to say that, though. I mean, because like I'm not going to try to use myself as a great example, but my A1C is below 5. My fasted insulin is always extremely excellent. And I'm not doing anything crazy. Like Paul can tell you as my coach, I barely use even rapid insulin at all. Like I'm very fortunate. I understand myself genetically with glucose management for some reason, but it's all the little things. I swear, I put them in people's plans and I see them actually make changes. It is like Josh says, like just small amounts of cardio, having a regimen, even in the off season. I know it sucks for some people. I'm weird and I enjoy it, but it's stuff like that, making sure like you are getting some fiber and vegetables, you know, some different things that can, all these little pennies that make $1 add up over time. True. You're paying dividends on little things that you can make a difference. So, or you could take one thing like Lantus and just mask the problem and you think it's fixed and you lie to yourself.
Yeah, I was gonna say Dave's method is making money. The Lantus method is basically stealing money from yourself because you're not realizing how bad you're.
That's right.
Sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, people can use Lantus temporarily if they're doing like a weight cut or something. They want to do those.
Sure.
Like this is what those guys. But don't try to. If you can avoid long-term insulin use, please do.
Yeah.
Yeah. My endocrinologist told me anything north of 30 units a day, the numbers long-term don't bear out well.
Sure. Yeah, you're replacing your entire fucking pancreas.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're in bad shape if you're using more than 30 units a day. And I've heard of bodybuilders using 100 plus.
I've had patients over 60 to 90 of Lantus and still have problems.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard of that. So, and then now we have the ultimate fucking cheat code. If you really are having issues, you can just run some fucking GLP-3.
Yeah,
and improve your pancreatic function and reverse the insulin resistance and get some beta cell function back.
Right. Like when that stuff was coming out, I was like, this is gonna be perfect for obese people like me. And I'm like, apparently this is great for people that take steroids as far as their health numbers look.
Yeah. All right, what do we got next? Sorry for the rant.
All right, next one is from Paul. Last ferritin panel was in range but low at 50. How long does it take to recover from a blood donation?
Red blood cell. Was it 120 days?
Yeah.
Turnover, fully turnover?
I mean, you can get a 60-day turnover when you donate, but 60 to 90 days is generally what you got.
Yeah. Ferritin's just an indicator of iron reserves. So I mean, it could be a multitude of things going on. Like I said, it seems to be the GLP-1s have some effect on iron absorption, and
it's calcium absorption, or if it's every mineral, you know.
Yeah, I have no idea. It's bizarre. I looked through the studies. I didn't see anything about it, but I certainly have seen it more and more frequently on the blood. I will tell you this: the guys that I have seen I've seen issues with guys that donate too frequently. I wouldn't donate more than every 90 days.
Don't donate blood, please.
Yeah,
if you're on steroids.
Yeah. Never had to. Not yet.
All right. Another medically oriented question. This is from the Thomas Turner. Any ideas on how to get an ECG when your PCP doesn't want to do it?
Just
call different urgent cares to figure out. Yeah. Well, different urgent cares will have an ECG or not. I say probably you could probably buy one online, but you basically just you need to go in with either a tachycardia or you need to go in saying you've been having heart palpitations.
Yeah, that's a good way to go to urgent care.
Yeah.
Well, if you want fast service at the ER, you tell them you can't breathe.
Yeah.
You can order one for most. It depends on the state you're in. Like here in Virginia, you can just go into a medical imaging place and just buy one yourself. I think it's about $500.
Yeah, I think in our state, as long as I get a referral and my insurance, if they don't want to cover it, I can still go get it and pay for it with my referral out of pocket.
I just went to the cardiologist. I'm like, yo, dude, I've been running steroids for 30 years. Can I get my heart checked out? He's like, yeah, sure. Let's run a full battery. Make sure you're okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Rock and roll.
But I also think too, I mean, if you're working with a primary care physician, I would assume you have some type of insurance. There should be a helpline or a nurse's line on your insurance card, and call them. I mean, they might be able to direct order it. You know, there's sometimes, especially with, you know, insurance nowadays, there's a lot more telehealth options. They might have a telehealth option and they're more than happy to order it. So I would try that.
And if your GP is refusing to order you one, find a
Fire.
new GP. Fuck that guy.
Yeah. If you can.
Yeah, you're not going in there for fun. Like, you're not going.
Well, like
in
you
there
said, some people are locked in with insurance companies. and they
This
don't
is
have
the arrogance I hate with medical doctors is there's, you know, look, I get that you go to school for 8 years and you do 4 years of residency, whatever the fuck it is. Yeah, you know more than me. That's 100% for sure. I don't have your area of expertise, but god damn it, you work for me. You're my consultant. You're my health consultant. I'm paying you. You're not the boss of me.
Well, remember, Paul, you're a lot smarter than a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people are taught, unfortunately, to just, you know, listen to their doctor as they grow up, right? From youth. So the attitude becomes, well, the doctor will tell me if something needs to be done, right? Rather than being proactive and being like the CEO of your own health, which is what you should be.
Yeah. My last doctor, he ended up firing me, but he was like lecturing me and telling me he wouldn't treat me for certain things and wouldn't do this. And I just I'm like, dude, do you understand what a client customer relationship looks like?
They don't.
And he's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, I employ you to work for me.
Right. That's why I'm paying you.
Right. I'm paying you to work for me. You don't tell me what to do. Right. I'll listen. I'll take your advice. I'm here because I want your advice. I want your help. Right. And I duly noted that you are concerned about what I'm doing, but I'm going to do it regardless. I mean, so either you're going to help me or I'm going to fucking fire you.
Yeah. He should be giving you the best medical advice for a regular person, and then the best medical advice for how you're going to want to live.
I've seen some stats. I don't remember, what exactly it was, but the trust relationship with medical professionals is at an all-time low right now.
Wonder why?
It is at an all-time low, and like I get, my daughter wants to go to medical. My daughter wants to go to medical school. You're in the medical profession, Josh. I mean, you guys are under a lot of fucking pressure. Constraints from insurance. I mean, there's a lot of pressure, but like at some point, don't be a fucking dick. How about that?
Yeah, just work with us.
Yeah, just work with me. Like seriously, I'm here because I want to take care of my health. I mean, you don't tell the guy who's drinking 4 beers every weekend that you're not going to work with them until they stop drinking beer.
Yeah, they could.
I mean, I guess they could, but
yeah, you can tell them out. It's the same kind of thing. But yeah,
yeah,
it's like obviously they tell the fat people like me, like, hey, could we maybe decrease our calories?
Anyway, next up. Sorry, rant again.
It's all right. Okay, this one from Timmy Monster, who also put in the chat that he's lost a ton of weight, which is incredible. But he is getting boners on leg day.
3rd leg pump.
I'm sorry, are there leg days without boners? Because that's what I do 3 days a week. That's freaking awesome, dude.
Get a muscle mommy as your lifting partner.
I mean,
just be happy.
That'll make it any better.
Adjust your squat plug.
We'll warm up together. How's that?
Timmy, just be happy it works. I'd say 70% of my consult calls are blood work reviews. 30% of them are broken dicks.
Is he watching people do leg day, or is he doing his own leg day? And that's like, what's causing the boner? Let's clarify.
Just had sets for the 3rd leg.
Yeah,
there you go.
I say congratulations, Timmy.
Yes.
Yeah, I know, right?
My advice is do your cardio before your lift on this one.
Congratulations on the bonus.
Get a girlfriend.
Put the penis in happiness.
Or 2, whatever, or 3, whatever it takes to.
I mean, whatever works.
Whatever helps with that situation.
Be happy.
Okay. What do we got?
All right. Next one is from Martin. On a fertility protocol, it's been about 7 weeks since my last pin on HCG every other day and HMG every other day. Got my blood work back and my test was at 66, FSH 3.8, and LH 0.9. Is that normal?
That's rough.
Yeah, that's pretty low.
I mean, the test is low, but isn't that what you're looking for if you're trying to get? Is he trying to restore fertility and just use HCG, AMG? What?
Well, you'd want your FSH and LH production to be you know, a little bit higher from what I understand. But Paul would probably be much better at this than me.
You got to up his doses then, because
Well, it looks like you're fucking shut down. Is what it looks like.
Which is where you started, right?
What's that?
If you take, I assume this guy stopped his TRT and is just doing this stuff to turn on his ability to make.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume so.
Test your sperm count.
Yeah, he said 7 weeks since his last.
Yeah.
I mean, Tesla's at 66. That's
is he trying to
brutal.
reset his stuff? PCT? Is this what he's doing? What is he doing?
My corner says hi. I thought for a second I forgot to send him his link, but I did. I guess he's got stuff going on today. I'd say, look, dude, this, you know, not my area of expertise. Steve has got some Steve has got some really good stuff up on fertility on his channel. Go over there and check that out. Steve's making babies now, so that's his. I'm past that point. I don't give a fuck.
Well, the only little I think again, I'm not an expert on this field, but I believe it's not the testosterone that we're looking to have, you know, super elevated as much as your FSH and your LH production should kind of be restored so you can get fertility back online.
Well, they do,
so
like
that's where the HMG really comes into play, and then the HCG is like activating your testes back to function.
Well, like fertility doses on guys are generally 10 to 12,000 IUs in a shot. Like they're blasts of this stuff, and I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, that's true.
But you know, I would say test your sperm count, man. That's what you care about.
Yeah.
If that's what he's worried about, I don't know if he's trying to get his.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it seems like he's trying to do a PCT. It's been 7 weeks since his last pin. What?
Well, he said fertility protocol, so I'm assuming he's trying to, get.
Is he still using this stuff? HCG? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I mean, it's.
Yeah, he said every other day.
Every other day. Okay. All right, then yeah, up your dose.
I just I cheated here. I chat GPT'd it, and it said that the Leydig cell responsiveness is probably not working in the testes.
And 7 weeks is a pretty acute time frame. I mean, that's pretty short time for things to come back. I mean, it can take months. I mean, you know, like for women, let's look at a woman who may have amenorrhea during contest prep. I mean, it could take 6 months to a year sometimes for things to completely normalize, even with HRT.
Natty guys stop growing leg hair and various other parts that are DHT related hairs.
Yeah, if I remember right, when I looked at that Harlem study where they did PCT versus non-PCT, on average, it took about 7-8 months for guys to regain full function.
Yeah. And age and diet. I mean, there's so many other factors that go into creating like viable sperm. I mean, if you look at, it's one of the guys on Fuad's podcast who's trying to get his wife pregnant, and looking at his sperms. It was Ian, and sometimes like you can have like a good volume, and there's just they're not formed correctly. I mean, so there's a lot of things that have to go into not just getting things back to like firing, but also having really good quality semen is different as well. So it's, the quantity and the quality of your swimmers.
And the taste.
See you, Zionic.
Bye, Z.
Bye. Yeah, so there's a lot that goes into it, but I think 7 weeks is just such a short time frame to be concerned. Keep at it. Yep. Yeah.
All right. I think we can get one, maybe two more in.
One or two.
I got to roll.
All right. Let's we'll try and grab some quicker ones. And Travis says, thank you. There we go. That's a really quick one. But this one from Dalton, contemplating using EQ for my contest prep. Anybody have any experience running EQ through prep? It's too bad Mike's not on.
Yeah, that's what all the old school guys did. I mean, really, you don't have a lot of choice right now with everything that's going on with the shortages. So the only thing that concerns me with EQ on contest prep, and I talked about it earlier, is the elevated hemoglobin, hematocrit, and red blood cell count, especially when you get towards peak week when you're dehydrated. That does concern me. You go back and look at it, it was George Peterson. I think he died right around COVID time. And he basically just died from an acute hypertensive event, from what I remember. And he had no other pathologies on his basically a clean autopsy otherwise, and it seemed like he just died from thick blood. That's what it looked like. His heart couldn't pump the blood, and just stopped. And probably a combination of and he tested positive. I think the only thing he really, if I remember right, don't quote me on this, but I remember he did test positive for equipoise
Right.
in his system
I
at the
remember
time.
that. Yeah.
It definitely
So, I
changes
mean,
your blood profile. That's the big risk on that one.
Yeah, that would be the big risk that I would worry about. I would probably, if you're running it, I'd probably be taking fish oil, maybe a low dose aspirin, paying close attention to your blood panels and making sure that hemoglobin, hematocrit, red blood cell counts stay somewhat in line, and just be careful.
More cardio.
Yeah, I wonder if nattokinase would help with that a little bit, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, nattokinase is supposed to help with like clotting factors and clotting risk and things like that. If you need to shatter your HGB, it's IP6. It chelates out all of your life.
I didn't see any issue myself using EQ for this last prep. I mean, when we used Masteron as well, but I've noticed with some of my clients that just EQ and Winstrol, when Masteron's not available, can kind of get that cosmetic touch you're looking for from the Masteron later on in the prep.
Yep.
Just be careful, because the only thing I think I made a mistake on personally was getting the EQ a little too high, where I was crushing my estrogen too early on in the prep. So I'd get a nice sweet spot where your E2 is still manageable and not, bringing you down, and then use AIs at the end to kind of do whatever you need to do with your estrogen. And
EQ is very aggressive at lowering estrogen. I have seen. I've had some guys that can't even, like, there's no really set prescribed ratio, but I wouldn't go any higher than 50% of your test dose with the EQ, especially to start off, because it'll sneak up on you. And I've had some guys, like, even 25% of their test dose, their estrogen's completely smashed.
Yeah. I would say me, I'm 9 feet away from that stuff. I don't need any estrogen control, really. So I'm just All
right, we got time for one more, and then I got to roll.
Well, let's ask this one, because we talk a lot about fasted cardio. Travis wants to know, when you all mentioned daily fasted cardio to help with health markers, can you give examples? For example, if I walk on a treadmill, my heart rate is only 110. I have to run to get it to 135 to 145.
Well, I walk from my bed to take a pee, and then go outside to take my dogs out, and then walk to my kitchen and cook my food. That's my fasted cardio.
I do 20 minutes on a bike every single day, fasted cardio. 20 minutes minimum. That's just
you're so good.
It's the Steve protocol, right? It's and I will say my heart rate has improved. It has dropped. My resting heart rate nowadays is like, I'm 54, and it's about, I want to say like 58, 59.
You mean cardio improves your cardiovascular health? I did not think so.
And it used to be like in the low 70s, before I got in shape. So,
I have to run 5 or 6 miles an hour to get my heart rate to 130. So that's what I do. Or I just run sprint intervals for 12 minutes. So.
Yeah, I do zone 2, 120 to 130 for 20 minutes straight. Just put on a podcast or meditate or whatever on the bike, whatever it is.
40K music.
Yeah, whatever.
That's like 5 songs, really, if they're awesome.
Yeah, that's all it is. And it does make it, at least for me, all of my blood markers improved, all of my cardiac or heart-related markers also improved.
HDL should go up, LDL and triglycerides should start crashing depending on how well you do with your cardio.
Yeah, I wouldn't always follow these heart beats per minute, numbers all the time too. I mean, there is some benefits you're going to see even on like your glucose management from just having light brisk walks at that 110 beats per minute. Also there's other things that are not going to show up on your blood panels. So you're going to notice better. You're going to notice better water management, shedding a little bit of that water weight, digestion. I have almost all my clients to a point do 5 minutes of walking after each meal. And then if you think about it, 6 meals, 5 meals, you're getting 30 minutes of walking. That's 3,000 steps.
Yeah.
And that's going to help.
Yeah, that's the old Stan Efferding trick.
Well, it's the diabetic trick.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, that's right, because it helps stabilize that.
Spike, pushes your blood. Yeah, pushes the blood sugar into the muscles where it should be.
Yeah, when we talk about also like glucose management, everybody forgets the biggest mop to mop up your glucose is your muscle. Like, you can do all the insulin. That's fine. That's going to force the action. But if you actually train, do cardio, you're going to mop up a lot of that glucose and put it where it needs to be stored.
Yeah, that's why after meals, they've done studies looking at walking for 10 minutes or doing like 20 air squats. I mean, it's like you said, Dave, it's a lot of that is that movement, but it's also getting that muscle to absorb some of that glucose as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, Paul, I know you have to go, but we have an update from Benny from last week or the week before. He was having issues with not being able to get hard. And he said that he did take your advice, drop the test and EQ significantly and got better within 3 to 5 days. So
I'll say my name next time you orgasm.
awesome.
Oh,
And he is immediately unable to get an erection.
yeah.
Bada bing, Josh.
No, you gotta be funny, you know.
Dr. Boner over here.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I have fixed many.
Whoa.
I have fixed many a boners.
Yes.
That's my second most common console call.
You're on.
Good luck, Benny.
We got a training
luck
video on
with that.
Instagram that might help.
Oh, God.
All right, folks. We appreciate you. Thank you guys for everything. We will see you bros and maybe gals on the next episode.